So today we're going to get started by creating a one-page layout for a classroom web page. We're going to be using Wix.com, and I'll walk you through a few steps to get you started, and then you'll be able to go on and continue creating on your own. The first thing you want to do is after you've logged into your Wix.com account, you're going to want to click on Create a New Site, and upon doing so, you'll be brought to this page that asks you what kind of site you'd like to create. Since education is not listed there, we're going to select Other. And once we've selected Other, it will bring us to the Wix editor. We'll go ahead and click on the Wix editor, and that will bring us to our templates page. As you can see, there are many different types of templates. We are on the education templates page here, but there are a number of different kinds, including blank templates, which is what we are actually going to use today. So once we've made it to our blank templates, you'll see there are a number of different layouts available to us on that template. And if you scroll over each layout, you'll see how it will render when it is in on a mobile cell phone or something to that effect. We are going to use, however, a completely start from scratch blank website template today. And to begin doing so, you're just going to click on the Edit button, and it will open up your blank website. So now we're ready to begin. I want to point out to you a few things here as we go across the top. This is our Pages menu. If you have more than one page, they'll all be listed here. I will explain more about that in a future tutorial. The next thing we're going to look at is the Site button. This drop-down menu has Save, Preview, Publish, and a number of other options. We select our tools. We can look at our toolbar, which you'll see on the right-hand side of the page. We have our rulers that you can add to the top. There are grid lines and even snap to objects, which is my favorite because you can align everything really nicely on the page. If you're interested in knowing what each of the icons is on the toolbar, all you have to do is scroll over them to find out. Now we're ready to take a look at the rest of our menu, which is the one you're going to use mostly for creating this website, which is this menu bar here on the left. I'm going to start with backgrounds. There are a number of options you have available to you for backgrounds. You can do a video background like this floating particles here, or you can stick with the static image background like the bananas, or you can even choose to go with a particular color in the background. I personally like the bananas, so I'm going to choose that one. And I want you to point out to you the settings where if you click on that, you can actually change the color of the image, or excuse me, of the background image. And then you can choose things like the scroll effects, as well as scale and positioning for the page. And I'll let you explore those in greater depth on your own. After that, we're going to select our Add button. And our Add allows us to add a number of things to the page. This is a really important button. This is where you'll add your text. You can use image. You can even create a menu, and you'll see how you have a variety of options for that menu. After which you can also choose to add an app. So going to the app market will show you different options that are available for the website. So if you wanted to add things like comments, if you wanted to add a chat feature, or even if you wanted to just add an events page, you can do all of those things using the app market. The next is the uploads, and your uploads is really sort of your library of items. So you can upload things like fonts, images, and videos, including music, and even documents. So that'll be stored in your library. If you wish to add a blog to your website, you can do that by clicking on the next icon. And then the final icon is the booking icon, which is great for teachers because you can have parents book directly through your web page for their parent-teacher conferences. If you're a kindergarten teacher and you're going to make appointments to do kindergarten readiness evaluations, you can create those right on your website as well. So a number of different options. But as I said, we're going to just focus right now on this one-page layout. And I'm going to, now that we've selected the background, I'm going to say, let's add some text. And I'd like to give this page a title. And so by clicking on text, I have many different options available to me. But I like this one called Huge Title, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'll click on Edit Text. Once I do that, I can change the name of my page, or the words in this box, to the name of my page. And once that shows up, I can choose things like to center it. I can stretch the box out because I don't really want them on two separate lines. I'd like it all on one line. So I can stretch that out. And then I can also position that where I want it on the page. Because I want this to be the name of my site, I'm going to add it to the very top of my page. You can see where it says attach to header. You can also see those snap to object lines are showing up, and those will help me to center them exactly in the center of the page. Once you attach something to the header, you can see this box will come up and tell you that this is going to show up on every single page you have. And that's exactly what I want because it's the title of my page. I'm then going to go ahead and add an image. Or excuse me, I'm actually going to add another text box, and that text box is going to be the page title. So even though right now we're only creating this as a one-page layout, I'm probably going to add other pages later, and so I'm going to change the page title to be Digital Literacy so that it's always clear which page that I have up. So my first page here is Digital Literacy. Close that out. I'll drag and position that directly under Mrs. T's Tech to keep it all lined up and even. And then I'm ready to add an image. So I'm going to, the first paragraph I'm going to write on this page is going to be about our keyboarding program. So I'm going to just look for an image of a keyboard to add to the page. And once I find that, I can click on it. And then I can click Add to Page. Oops, what happened? There we go. We can click Add to Page, and it'll show up on my page. And then I'm just going to want to resize that keyboard image. So I'll get that down to the size I want for it to be. And I'm going to bring it down here on the left-hand side like this. I'm going to go ahead and add now a text box where I'm going to write a paragraph about that particular image. So I like Georgia Bowl, I like the Georgia, and so now I'm going to line this up. As you can see, I'm lining it up nicely with the top of that image, and so they'll all be in alignment. I can go ahead and edit my text. I can call it keyboarding, and then I'm ready for my paragraph. Once I'm done writing my paragraph, I'm going to stretch this out to sort of be a little bit larger, and then I'm ready to add the next element. I'm going to show you one more image add so that you can see how the snap to object really works well when you're doing images especially. So my next image is going to be an image of coding because that's my next paragraph. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab that and add it to page. And now you'll see how large that is, and it's not in any kind of alignment at all. So I'm going to drag that down first. I'm going to line it up. You see the purple line appears when they're in alignment. And then I'm going to go ahead and resize this image all the way down until it's exactly the same basically as my previous image. And then I'm ready to go ahead and add my next text block for my next paragraph. And again, you'll go ahead and line that up with the top of that image, and you're going to line it up with the box above it. So now everything is even in place it should be. Now you're ready to continue on your own. So good luck, and let me know if you've got any questions.